When I married him, he promised we would only stay with his parents for a couple of months. 2 years later, I was still mopping floors under my mother-in-law's critical gaze, listening to my husband demand I cover my hair indoors. But one day, he crossed the line. While I was asleep on sleeping pills, he took scissors and cut my hair. What I did next destroyed their family, their business, and made national news. My name is Eleanor. Believe me, you wouldn't believe what I've been through. When I married Robert, he promised, "We'll live with my parents for a little while, save up, and move out immediately." 2 years passed, and I was still living under his family's roof, in a house where none of my decisions mattered. I am an interior designer, not just a designer, but a genuinely good one. My projects appear in local magazines. My client base grows every month. You would think my husband would be proud. "No, Ellie, you spend too much time at the office. Who are all these clients?" He would start almost every night at dinner. "They're just clients, Robert. You know I'm running a project for a new restaurant downtown." But the conversation never ended there. His mother, Victoria, poured oil on the fire. "A real wife should be home more often. We have traditional values in this family." I heard the word tradition more often than my own name in that house. Robert's sisters, Charlotte and Giselle, didn't lag behind. "Maybe if you dressed more modestly, Robert wouldn't be so nervous," Charlotte would remark, glancing sideways at my open-neck top. "I'm in my own home," I snapped once. "Technically, it's our home," Victoria corrected with a strained smile. I raised the issue of moving out many times. "Don't start again, Ellie," Robert would dismiss me. "Dad's health is poor. He needs support." It sounded touching, except for one thing. Lord Alistair was seen just days ago strutting around the golf course with his club. He looked healthier than I did after a sleepless night. The turning point was meeting Jessica, a colleague. We quickly became friends. "Listen, you urgently need boundaries," she said over lunch one day. "The fact that he checks your phone every night is not normal." "He doesn't check it," I mumbled. "He just glances at it sometimes." "Ellie, that is checking, and living with his family is a recipe for disaster." That evening, when I returned home, Robert was waiting for me in the hallway, arms crossed, face like stone. "Who is Jessica? Why are you constantly together? Are you two friends?" "We are working on the Sidorov project," I replied wearily. "I told you about it." "I don't remember. Are you hiding something?" I took a deep breath. I was seething inside. "I'm only hiding one thing. How miserable I am. We need our own space, Robert. I love you, but the way we live is unhealthy." His voice rose. "Unhealthy? Unhealthy is when a wife forgets what family values are." As if on cue, Victoria entered the room. "Robert is right, dear. You've changed. Your work has gone to your head. Pride is the path to ruin." "I'm not proud, Victoria. I'm just successful. Those are different things." That night, I went to bed feeling the walls of the house closing in. I was suffocating. The next day, after a difficult shift, I returned home late again. The whole family was already gathered in the kitchen for dinner. "Late again," Robert grumbled without even looking up. "Finishing a project." "Work, work, work," Victoria rolled her eyes. "Maybe it's time for you to think about home." I clenched my fists. "Robert, I have thought about it. The new residential complex across the river. Great location. Let's go look at it." He only shook his head. "Don't start. Our life is here, with the family." "With your family, not mine," I said sharply. Then Lord Alistair stepped in with his signature cough. "Son, your mother needs help with medication." And my heart. "They need help, Ellie," Robert said. "We are obligated to be near them." I looked up at him. "They need you, but I need a husband. And I need privacy. Space. Privacy." He snorted. "Privacy? What are you hiding there, Eleanor?" This was the last straw. I went out into the garden. The wind chilled my skin. The stars above looked down condescendingly, and tears rolled down my cheeks. How did I end up in a life where I couldn't even think a thought out loud? "Everything all right?" I heard a voice behind me. It was Ethan, Robert's younger brother, the only one in the family who somewhat understood me. "Just family matters," I sniffled, arguing about moving again. Ethan nodded. "I know, this family is a heavy burden." I gave a bitter smile. Am I asking for too much? My own corner where I can just be myself." He smiled. "Even now you look immaculate. It must be the hair. You have gorgeous hair, like from a commercial." I managed a weak laugh, but that moment crumbled like a house of cards. Footsteps sounded behind me. It was Robert. He saw Ethan complimenting me. His face darkened. He silently turned and walked away. That night, Robert and I were separated not only by silence, but by an abyss. His voice cut the air like a blade. "Tomorrow you will cover your hair." I didn't understand. "What? If you live in this house, you must cover your head." I was stunned. "This is madness, Robert. I told you we need to move out. Then you won't have to monitor who sees my hair. My father needs us. He plays golf every weekend. He's healthy." He leaned forward. "Cover your hair." "No." I was trembling with anger. He turned away. I took a sleeping pill, the only thing that helped me fall asleep in that house. "Fine, have it your way," he mumbled. Before drifting off, I heard the creak of a drawer and a rustling sound. Then I felt a strange chill on my head, but my brain was already falling into the void. I woke up with a strange feeling, as if something was wrong with my head. My hand mechanically reached for my hair and froze. Instead of the familiar heavy mass of long strands, my fingers met with stubs, crooked, sticking out everywhere, barely reaching my ears. I jumped up to the mirror and screamed. The door slightly opened. Victoria appeared on the threshold with a cup of coffee. "What's all the noise this morning?" she lazily asked. I turned to her, shaking with rage. "Look what he did to my hair." Victoria squinted, took a sip and shrugged. "Well, a new look. Unexpected, but hair grows back." "He cut it while I was sleeping," I screamed. She just smirked. "Maybe you'll listen next time. It's all for the best, dear." I flew down the stairs, trembling as if a fever gripped my whole body. In the kitchen, Robert sat eating scrambled eggs as if nothing had happened. "How could you?" I hissed. "You cut my hair while I slept." He didn't even look up. "You should have learned respect." "Respect? You invaded my personal space. This is violence, Robert." At that moment, Charlotte walked into the kitchen, glanced at me and rolled her eyes. "Don't be dramatic. It's just hair. It'll grow back if you behave." Everything inside me broke. I couldn't take it anymore. I didn't go to work. I simply couldn't. But in the evening, Jessica came over. She brought me tea and saw my face and my hair. "Oh my God, Ellie, pack your things. You're staying with me tonight." At Jessica's apartment, I finally broke down. I cried unashamedly, sobbing like a child. "It's worse than you think," she said, pouring me tea. "The Sidorov project. Your husband called them, tried to cancel the contract, said you were psychologically unstable." "What?" My hands shook. "And that's not all. Remember the Melnicks? Victoria spread rumors at the club that you were having an affair with a client." I opened my calendar. Half the meetings were cancelled. My client list was dwindling. It was him. He was destroying everything. My work, my reputation, me. "This is abuse, Ellie, pure and simple. And you need to start documenting everything," Jessica said firmly, placing her hands on mine. That night, I ordered hidden cameras. When the family went to church, I installed them in the bedroom, the kitchen, and the living room. The recordings surpassed my darkest expectations. Victoria rummaged through my drawers. Charlotte scrolled through my phone while I was in the shower. Giselle photographed my documents, and Robert reported my every move to his mother. Then a recording that made my blood run cold. In the kitchen, Victoria whispered, "The hair a good start, son, but she's still too free. Maybe it's time to take her phone. Remember how well that worked with Diana?" Diana. That night I was digging through my email and suddenly a message. Subject, I used to be Robert's wife. "Hello, Ellie. I saw your photo in a design magazine and immediately recognized Robert. I need to warn you. What they did to your hair is just the beginning. They isolated me, destroyed my career, and spread rumors until nothing was left of me. I fled to London. Please take care of yourself." Diana and I corresponded all night. Her story was mine, word for word. Victoria through the phone, Robert through clients, the sisters through gossip. But Diana told me something else, something that became the beginning of the end of their world. Lord Alistair was routing fictitious invoices and donations from the Melnicks through the accounting. The money wasn't reaching the charity fund. They had been laundering money for years through bogus transactions, using charity as a front. This was the key. I anonymously passed the information to their largest client. 3 days later, auditors arrived at the mansion, and that was just the beginning. The auditors descended on Robert's family like a hurricane. I saw it with my own eyes. Suitcases of papers, interrogations, closed doors, cold stares. I was packing my things at the time. I felt an astonishing calm. For the first time in months, Robert burst into the bedroom, furious. "It was you. You set up the audit." I didn't turn around, just continued neatly folding documents into my suitcase. Me. I'm just the mentally unstable wife, remember? The door slammed open. Victoria, pale as a sheet, rushed in. "They are checking everything, all the accounts, the funds, the projects." "Excellent." I turned to them with a smile that carried no humor and pulled out the divorce papers. "And the court will check everything too." Robert turned crimson. "You ungrateful." "Stop it," I cut him off. "I have everything. Recordings, cameras, evidence of stalking, insults, those little family meetings in the evenings where you discussed how to ruin my career." "Oh, and yes," I smirked. "Diana says hello." Their faces looked like shadows. Even Lord Alistair, always so confident, merely mumbled hoarsely, "You won't prove anything." I shook my head with feigned pity. "Alas, the camera in the kitchen clearly recorded you discussing the Asher Invest account. Remember?" The silence was deafening. The next day, headlines filled the local news. Benite family empire destroyed, father and son under investigation for fraud. I didn't just leave. I broke free with evidence, with a lawyer, with my head held higher than ever. The court awarded me half of Robert's assets, everything that was available before the arrests and asset freezes. I gave them no chance. I moved to London. There, thanks to Jessica, a major design firm was already waiting for me. Diana flew in to celebrate, laughing contagiously, as if years of accumulated pain had been erased. "Well, are they selling the mansion?" She giggled, raising a glass of wine. "Yes," I nodded with satisfaction. "Victoria and the daughters are now in a small apartment. I heard Charlotte had her club card revoked, and Giselle was dumped by her fiancé. His parents didn't want criminal in-laws." Time passed. My life flourished. My new design project, a women's aid center, a sanctuary for those also escaping the darkness. My hair grew back, long, thick, better than before. I never hid it again, because I am not a victim. I am the author of my own design, even if I have to start with ruins. And then, 2 years later, I got the call. The court. Robert 5 years in prison, Lord Alistair 7 years. Their business is dead. Their reputation destroyed, their social status scattered to the dust. In a meeting with Jessica, she asked a simple question. "Well, how does it feel?" I ran my hand through my hair, slowly, with a smile. "Like justice." Victoria tried to reach out. I think she was hoping for money. I simply blocked her number. The last I heard, Charlotte is a supermarket cashier. Giselle sells cosmetics in a shopping center. Victoria complains about her life to friends while standing in line for discounts. And me. My new studio recently featured in an architectural review. When the journalist asked what inspires me, I simply replied, "Sometimes the most beautiful projects are born from the ruins." Now to you, what would you do if your spouse's family started slowly destroying your career, your identity, and your freedom? Would you walk away silently, or would you make them feel the taste of consequences? Share your story in the comments. Your voice might help someone else escape the nightmare. Remember, violence isn't always physical blows. Sometimes it's the slow erasure of you. You must be the point where it stops.